Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Claire and I put out videos about luxury bags and accessories. So if that is your thing, please click on the subscribe button, hit the notification bell and you'll know when I upload a new video. Although I haven't uploaded a new video for quite a while, I know. I think the last one was in May and it is now September, so I am sorry about that. When I made my last video in May, which I believe was my Fendi baguette unboxing, so if you haven't seen that video, please check it out. I'll link it down below. I never intended for that to be my last video for a few months. It's just that shortly after that video, life happened basically, and a lot of things got in the way of me being able to find the time to make videos. I had to prioritise lots of other things going on in my life, and YouTube and this channel is very much a hobby for me, and sometimes hobbies have to take a back seat and other things have to take that priority. Maybe in a Q&A in the future I'm happy to talk about some of the things that have been happening over the last few months. There's been a lot going on. There's been some stressful things and some good things. It's all been a bit of a mix, but I did find June and July in particular were quite stressful months, and August was just a very busy month. The beginning of September has been extremely busy, and it's only round about now, the middle of September, that I've been able to sit down and actually film some videos. I did film a couple of videos back in June, but by the time I found the time to edit them, the topics I was talking about were so out of date and just not relevant anymore. They were things that had been discussed at the time in the luxury YouTube community, and certain other YouTubers had done some videos about them, and I was commenting and having my say, but by the time I sort of looked back at them and went to edit, I thought, this is just so out of date, it's not worth editing and putting these videos up now. So that's why I just haven't had any videos out for a while, but I'm certainly going to try my best to be a little bit more regular with my videos and uploading and so on. And so please, you know, if you've stuck around and you're still here with me, I'm so grateful, I really am. And hopefully, as I say, I'll get some more frequent videos put out over the next few months. So what am I going to do as my first video back? Well, I thought I would tackle the tag video, as the title of this video suggests, which is Never Have I Ever. And this was started by Simply Her Perspective a little while back, and I certainly watched her video and enjoyed it, and then I saw a couple of other YouTubers run with it. I think I've watched Live in Luxe with Meredith's video and Style by Gwenny's video, which came out recently, and I thought I'll have a go at doing my own version of this. So this was looking at things that we've never actually done in relation to luxury shopping, and it might be some things that other people would have the perception or the assumption that you had done. Maybe it's things that you think, oh, everybody does this in luxury boutiques or in relation to luxury shopping, and maybe it's some things that perhaps you might be surprised that we haven't done. Now, the first thing on the list was in relation to shopping in a luxury boutique. And Heidi, who is from the channel Simply Her Perspective, talked about something she had never done in relation to shopping in a luxury boutique. Now, my never have I ever is never have I ever bought a handbag or an accessory or anything in a Chanel boutique. Now, why do I pick on Chanel? Because it's one of my favourite brands. It's a brand that I've got a few handbags and small leather goods accessories from, but I've never actually purchased any of them in a boutique and walked out of the boutique with that item. Now, all of my Chanel handbags, and I'm excluding my wok from this because I know I do sometimes class my wok as a bag, but in this example I'm classing it as an SLG. But all of my Chanel handbags I purchased pre-loved, and I either did that because they were a discontinued model, or they were from an older collection and they weren't available to buy brand new, or the pre-loved bag was an excellent deal and it was exactly what I wanted, so I bought the item pre-loved. The closest I've come to buying an item from the boutique and walking out with it was my Chanel 19 bag. I was offered a brand new one when I was looking for my Chanel 19, but it was in lambskin. and I really had my heart set on goat skin. So I ended up purchasing my goat skin Chanel 19 pre-loved. I did wonder a little while afterwards, should I have had that luxury boutique experience and bought it brand new? Would that have made the experience more memorable for me? But the thing is, I really wanted the goat skin, and at that point the goat skin was a discontinued leather. It was only available in lambskin, and I'm very pleased I did go for the goat skin now, because I love my bag. I use it a lot. I don't feel with the goat skin that I have to baby it. I feel quite confident to use it, and I take it out a lot. I don't worry too much about it because I know the goat skin is fairly hard wearing, a leather. I know the lambskin on the Chanel 19s is supposed to be a little bit more hard wearing than say lambskin on a classic flap. However, I still would worry about it too much. I think I would stress a bit too much, and I might not use the bag as much as I do had I got it in lambskin rather than goat skin. So I'm very happy with my goat skin, and I did buy it pre-loved. So that was probably the closest I came to buying something in the boutique, but in the end I didn't. I have bought some small leather goods, my Chanel O case, my wok, as I mentioned before, and a card holder, brand new from the boutique, but that was not in the boutique. They were bought during lockdown, and they were bought over WhatsApp, and they were shipped to me. So I've never actually been into a Chanel boutique and walked out having bought a Chanel item. And I have been into a Chanel boutique quite a bit to look at their range of bags and SLGs. Given the recent price increases, I can't see myself actually walking into a Chanel boutique and walking out with anything brand new in the future. Again, if I'm looking for anything, I'm probably going to have to go down the pre-love route again, because I just don't think I can justify the cost of Chanel brand new from the boutique these days. So that's my first one. So I'm just looking at my phone because I wrote down the categories. The second one is never have I ever bought from a certain brand. Now my one for this is never have I ever bought anything from Dior. Now, why is that? I like Dior, I do like their bags, but I have never actually bought anything, bag, small leather good, anything like that from Dior. The closest I've ever come is I've got some Dior foundation and some lipstick, so just some beauty items, and that's it. Now, I like the Dior book tote, but I have my dupes, which I love using, and I use them for work. I use them to carry files to and from the office, and so to me, paying over £2,000 for a Dior book tote is just too much money to pay for that kind of usage. To just have it, you know, sling it in the car, take it out and put it in the office, and having, you know, great big heavy files in it. It just, I just couldn't do that. I couldn't spend that sort of money and use the bag for that. So I would end up not using it. So although I think some of the designs are beautiful, I would never buy a Dior book tote. I wouldn't use it for travel either, because you can't squash it under an aeroplane seat or anything like that. So no, I can't ever see myself buying that bag, although I like it. I like some Lady Dior's, others I don't. I find some of the designs again are beautiful. I do find some of the designs that they have on the book tote, they look amazing on the book tote, but then when they put them onto the smaller bag, onto the Lady Dior, I feel they look a bit busy, and I'm not always a fan. But there are some Lady Dior bags which I do like, and I look at them from afar and think that's a beautiful bag, but I don't like them enough to buy them for myself. I don't feel I like or love them enough to part with my own money to buy one of those bags for myself. I don't think it would fit in with my lifestyle. I just can't see myself using it. I am a fan of more rectangular bags, so I do like the D-Joy, which I think is the East-West rectangular Lady Dior. I quite like that, but again, not enough to probably go out and purchase it myself. I'm just not a massive fan of the Lady Dior style. Again, it's just personal opinion. So unless I ever find one that I absolutely fall in love with, I can't see myself ever buying a Lady Dior. And then the third bag I do like from Dior is the saddle bag. I loved that when it first came out, and then I liked the idea when it was reissued, and I thought about getting one. I like it. It probably is my style of bag a number of years ago. I think my taste and my style has moved on a bit, and that sort of style probably, had I had the money when it first came out, I think in the 90s, wasn't it? Had I had the money back then, I probably would have bought one, but obviously back then I didn't have the money, and now it's, you know, now it has been reissued, and I could possibly have got one rather than getting some of my other styles I've got. I prefer the other styles. The other styles of bags I've got were further up the wish list than the Dior saddlebag. I would never say never with that. I may get one day, but I think there's other styles of bags that I would rather save up for and that I really love above the Dior saddlebag. And any other Dior bags and SLGs, again, they haven't really, you know, grabbed my attention and made me think, oh, I must have that. So no, never have I ever bought a handbag, an SLG or a luxury accessory from Dior. So the next one is also about shopping in a luxury boutique. So never have I ever been offered, and consequently, because I've not been offered, have I ever drunk champagne in a luxury boutique. Now, I've been into Chanel, Louis Vuitton quite a few times over the last few years, never been offered a drink at all. I've been into Fendi a few times. Fendi is the only brand that's ever offered me a drink in a luxury boutique. I went to Fendi probably end of last year, and I just went to browse and have a look, and I was offered tea or coffee or water, and I actually said no because I just wanted to have a quick look and then I had a train to catch, but I was very grateful to be offered. However, back in June, so this is just after my last video that I did, so I haven't had a chance to share this with you. I was invited to a Fendi event. Now what happened was I purchased something from the astrology collection, and I will share that with you and show you that at some point in another video. But I bought an item from the astrology collection which came out I think May or June this year. Consequently, my SA invited me to this Fendi astrology event where they had an astrologer in store who was preparing your birth chart for you. So I had to message my SA with my date of birth, time of birth, and the astrologer pre-prepared my birth chart for me, and I went into the boutique on a Sunday afternoon, and this was in Fendi in Harrods, and she would sit with me and discuss the birth chart with me. So I was very excited because it was the first sort of private event that I'd ever been invited to in a luxury boutique, so I was very happy to accept and go. It was quite short notice, and there was a nightmare on the trains that day, so it was a bit stressful getting there, but I got there with plenty of time, and I got to the boutique. I went there for my appointment, and I did wear my new blue Fendi baguette that I showed you in my last video, and I got there, and they did offer me a drink. They said, would you like tea, coffee, water, sparkling water, or a Diet Coke? And I was sitting there hoping that the champagne or Prosecco would be on the end of that list, and it wasn't. So I'm far too British and repressed to actually then be as forward as to ask for champagne or Prosecco. And I just assumed because it wasn't on the list that maybe it wasn't on offer. So I said, oh, thank you, I'd love a Diet Coke. So I was then sitting up with the astrologer a few minutes later, and the next group of people had come in for their appointment after me, and they were sitting on the sofa, and I think there was 3 ladies there, and they were obviously seen by a different SA who offered them champagne, or they were much more forward than me and had asked for it because they were all sitting there with champagne. And I remember looking over and thinking, I really wanted some champagne or Prosecco. It was a lovely hot day, I was on the trains, I wasn't driving, so I really wanted to take advantage of having some champagne in a luxury boutique. It was the first event I'd ever been invited to, so I was a bit miffed that I didn't get my champagne. So I don't know, maybe next time I'll be a bit more forward and I might ask for it, or maybe next time if I'm in there and I am actually buying something, then I might say, can I have my champagne? But yeah, so never have I ever been offered or drank champagne in a luxury boutique, but I hope that that will change at some point in the future. Okay, the next category was bag styles. Now, quite a lot of people on this one said, never have I ever bought a luxury backpack. Now, I haven't really bought a luxury backpack before. The closest I've come is I've bought a couple of Longchamp backpacks. I did buy 2 in different colours because I couldn't choose between the colours, but I ended up using one colour all the time and not using the second one, so I actually sold the second one quite recently. because I'd never ever used it. So if I ever do use a backpack, which is very, very rare, I would use my Longchamp one. So I'm going to say a different bag style that I have never ever bought and I would never buy, and that is, never have I ever bought a bucket style bag. I do not like bucket bags. They just do not appeal to me. Now, I've seen a couple from Chanel, Louis Vuitton obviously, and I think, again, from afar, yeah, they look okay. But I would never ever contemplate buying one of those bags for myself. I just wouldn't use it. They just are not my style. I think they're quite a casual style of bag. And although, you know, I definitely have a place in my wardrobe for casual bags, I just feel they're not me, completely and utterly not me. And again, you know, see other YouTubers with their bucket style luxury bags and think, oh yeah, they look really nice bags, but not for me. So that's the bag style, and the next one is the bag colour. Now, I could do a lot here because never have I ever bought a luxury bag in a number of colours: bright pink, green, purple, orange, quite a few different colours, because I tend to stick to the neutrals. Most of my bags are neutral, and one bag I did buy in red, my Aspinall of London Midi Mayfair, I have confessed to you in a video before that I haven't used it, and unfortunately I filmed that video quite a while ago and I still haven't used it. I did say that I really wanted to try and use it the last couple of summers, and 2 summers have gone by and I still haven't used it. It's my only luxury bag that I've never used, and I feel guilty about that. I feel bad that I've got this beautiful bag and I haven't used it. I don't want to sell it. I really, really want to use it, and I'm hoping at some point I will be able to style it and I will be able to start using that bag. So most of my other bags that I do use all the time are very, very neutral colours. So I'm going to choose the one here to actually use in this video as my never have I ever. It's a colour that is neutral, but I haven't bought a bag in this colour, but that might change, and that's never have I ever bought a bag in white. Now, I've always been nervous and worried about buying a bag in white, certainly a luxury bag in white, and I don't think I've ever even bought a contemporary or a high street bag in white. But the last couple of summers I have really found this gap in my handbags, and I've wanted a white bag. I do wear quite a lot of patterns, and over the last couple of summers I've worn quite a lot of pattern dresses that have white in the pattern, and I've really wanted a white bag to style with those dresses. And I have a lovely pair of white Dune shoes, which are kind of dupes for Hermes Orans, and they're called Lupe shoes, and I really like them. I wear them a lot in the summer, and I really like a white bag to go with them. So this last summer I thought, right, before next summer I want to get a white bag, and I have 3 in mind. And what I might do is do another video where I talk about the 3 and see, you know, and maybe give my kind of pros and cons for each one and see what people think. But yeah, so never have I ever bought a white bag until maybe some point in the future where I might buy a white bag. So moving on, I'm on to the last one now, which is a wild card, and I've got a couple of wild cards actually. I thought I'd do a couple of my own. And one again is to do with the luxury shopping kind of experience in boutique. Never have I ever gone into an Hermes boutique and made any inquiries or discussed handbags. Now, I've gone into Hermes quite a lot because I do like the brand, and I've had quite a lot of interactions with SAs in Hermes, and I've talked about costume jewellery, I've talked about fragrances, makeup, and I've talked about homeware. But I've never had a conversation with an SA in Hermes about handbags or leather goods. Now, I am not a massive fan of the Hermes bags. Now hear me out, because I know there's lots of Hermes fans out there. I can watch someone on YouTube unbox their Birkin and their Kelly, and I think, yeah, they are lovely looking bags. You can tell the craftsmanship is there. You can tell they're beautiful leathers, beautiful colours, and I'm very, very happy for them that they've got their dream bag. I can watch luxury YouTubers unbox other types of Hermes bags, the Evelyn, the Gypsy Air bag, and I think, yeah, they are really nice bags, and I do like the Gypsy Air, the mini one they've recently brought out, I think. I like the Constance bag. I think, yeah, they're nice bags, but none of these bags are really for me. Again, I don't like them enough to spend the money on them. Obviously, Hermes bags, leathers are very expensive. I just don't like them enough to buy them. I'm not a Birkin person because I've had top handle only bags before and found them difficult to use. I like the Kelly to a point, but again, not enough. Just I don't love it enough. So I've never felt the need in an Hermes boutique to inquire about their leather goods, their bags, to see if I could do a wish list or anything like that. So I've gone in with the sole purpose of talking about other things like their homeware or their costume jewellery, and I'm not buying that to build up a profile or anything like that because I'm not interested in getting a bag. Will that ever change? I really don't know. I doubt it. I don't think I want to spend that amount of money on bag styles that I'm not absolutely in love with. So there we go, there's that one. And the last one is, never have I ever bought a pre-loved bag and not had it separately authenticated. Even if it has come with its own authentication, I've always had it authenticated by somebody else and paid to have my own authentication done. Now, I've only ever really mainly bought Louis Vuitton and Chanel pre-loved, so I've used Pro Authenticators in the US for Louis Vuitton and Zico in the US for Chanel, because to me they are the sort of foremost authenticators for those brands. So I've always bought my pre-loved bag and immediately had it authenticated by one of those services to ensure my own peace of mind that I've definitely bought a genuine bag. And luckily everyone I've bought has come back authentic. I pretty much was, I suppose, 99.9% certain before I purchased it that it was an authentic item, but I always have that authentication done. To me, that is just common sense. If you're buying pre-loved, always have your item authenticated, and there are plenty of other authentication services out there that do some of the other brands, you know, and I recommend, you know, that you always get your pre-loved items authenticated. Even if I've you know, even if I bought from a reseller, I would still get my own authentication done as well. I know I've heard some luxury YouTubers in the past say, oh, you know, you can be sure when you're buying from these particular resellers, you can be sure that you're getting an authentic item, and I'm sure you can. But here in the UK, there has been some issues in the last couple of years with a couple of well-known at the time resellers allegedly not selling authentic items or not fulfilling the terms and conditions of the resale, and there has been some problems. So you know, I'm certainly not saying all resellers are like that, but knowing that there has been some resellers over here that have had these issues, it makes me just think, right, if I ever buy a bag from a reseller, I'm still going to get my independent authentication done. So that's my last one, my second wild card. Never have I ever bought a pre-loved item and not had it authenticated independently or separately to ensure that it is genuine. So please let me know in the comments below what you think of some of my never have I evers. What are some of yours? If you're a luxury YouTuber out there and you haven't done this video yet, then consider yourself tagged. I'm going to tag a couple of people who I don't think have done the video. Forgive me if you have, but I don't think you've done it. So I'm going to tag Steph from Handbagholic, Nick from Living Life Loud with NJS, and Hannah from So Much Design with Hannah. So if any of those YouTubers want to have a go at this video, please feel free to do so, and I look forward to hearing what your never have I evers are. Thank you so much to Heidi from Simply Her Perspective for creating the tag. It was a really fun one to do and really got me thinking about what I haven't done in relation to luxury shopping, so thank you for that. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. and I really hope that I will see you again soon on the next video, and it won't be so long until the next one, and that I can get back to a little bit more regular uploading. So thanks for watching everyone. See you again soon. Bye.